And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of New Earth TV Live. It is our 90th episode. That is so awesome. Been doing this for, well, I'd say probably well over 90 weeks now, so we're pretty much coming on close to 2 years of doing New Earth TV Live every Friday. So very happy to hear that. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to have a really great episode today. We're going to be doing some mass meditation, earth mass meditation. We're going to be getting into some distant healing as well too, and we'll be getting into some questions, right? So if you guys have healing requests, you can put your healing requests in the chat. If you have questions, you can get them ready once we get into Q&A. So we'll probably have up to about a 90-minute episode today. But first and foremost, before we get started, we'll start off with some announcements. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing to detoxify, rejuvenate, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards, a spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
And of course, private sessions are available. 3-question sessions by email are also available. They are being done with tarot readings too. Also, a brand new feature with the private sessions and the email sessions is that I'll be doing higher self-communication through both sessions. So just like what you guys see through the video transmissions of the higher self, where you see that I'm speaking as the higher self, kind of has shades of Adronis to it. So I'm also offering those in private sessions as well too, here and now. So if you are interested in that, just feel free to grab your private session or session by email at newearthteachings.com. Still a couple spots left for the Kundalini and Inner Practices Stonehenge Tour. We'll be looking into Stonehenge, exploring crop circle museums, talking about how crop circles are formed, looking into the history of Avalon and King Arthur, making contact with the Pleiades, and experiencing Kundalini awakening as well too. So there's a really amazing checklist, an amazing outline of what we're going to be doing here on the Stonehenge Tour. I'm really looking forward to it. So again, it's taking place from July 30th to August 6th. Like I said, a couple spots are still available. So if you are interested in signing up, it's an early bird price right now too. So you can register now at wowtours.de. That's wowtours.de. And you can contact Max, who is the event coordinator for the Stonehenge Tour, and he's happy to answer any questions that you have if you're interested in joining me in this once-in-a-lifetime tour that we're going to do in the UK. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be an amazing time. So grab it while it's early bird. And tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern, hosted live on Zoom, I'm going to be talking to Julia Cannon. So we're going to have about a 75 to 90-minute interview tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about QHHT, past life regression, and other lifetimes, plus live Q&A from Zoom attendees. Okay, so if you're going to be watching it on YouTube, you won't be able to ask a question. Make sure that you go onto the Zoom registration link. Okay, so the Zoom registration link is in the video description of this video. So just click on that registration link and sign up for that. I can have up to 500 attendees on Zoom. So make sure you join in and you can ask Julia some questions when we get into Q&A. Like I said, it'll probably be between a 75 to 90-minute interview tomorrow. So we'll have some time to get a few questions from the audience. So again, I'm looking forward to this tomorrow. First time with me talking with Julia. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. So I noticed that there's not going to be an infinite intelligence report this, or next week, I should say. There's also not going to be a signpost one this week. Reason being is because I'm getting ready for Mexico, right? So I'm going to be in Mexico on Monday. So I'm going to be taking a 1-week trip to Tulum, Mexico, starting Monday. So this weekend is going to be extremely busy for me. And there probably will not be an infinite intelligence report next weekend as well, too. Of course, I'll be in Mexico. So we'll be coming back in 2 weeks for another signposts and then infinite intelligence report after that. Just going to be a very, very busy weekend and busy next week. I may be doing a New Earth TV live in Mexico on Friday. I'm not too sure yet, but I'll keep you guys informed if that does occur. And of course, everything on the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel is backed up onto Odyssey, so you can check out the link odyssey.com/@NewEarthTeachings in the video description as well too. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get so ready. We're gonna get so ready for our next Mass Earth meditation now. So like I said, guys, if you've been watching these weeklies, you know that I've done guided meditations in the past. You can always tune in to those old recordings as well too. They work really, really well, especially when I've done Mass Earth meditation before. They're still very effective as you start to work with them. But today, here we are going to do it once again. I like to give different perspectives on how we help to heal and work with the earth every single time that I do the Mass Earth meditation. So guys, just go ahead and get yourself nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable, and I will turn on the meditation window. Okay, I think that's the wrong text, but that's okay. All right, I have to update this. I had the picture of the earth, but I can't seem to find it now, so I've moved stuff around on my computer. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and start off with a Mass Earth meditation. So all I want you to do right now is just get yourself nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed, making sure the spine is nice and straight. You're also welcome to lay down for this if you want to. And we're just going to start off with some heart rate variability breathing. So that's just going to work with us breathing into the nose for 4 seconds, breathing out to the nose for 6 seconds. Okay? So go ahead and close your eyes now as you're nice and comfortable. And we'll begin with HRV, heart rate variability. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last time, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and relax. Feeling yourself now going deeper and deeper into that parasympathetic state of relaxation, calmness, and centeredness. Now I want you just to be aware of your body right now, whether you are sitting down or sitting cross-legged or laying down. Just be aware of the stillness within your body. And just feel yourself stretching out your awareness. Stretch it out past the body. Stretch it out through the room or space that you're in. Stretch it out through the city or town or wherever you may be. Stretch it out so that your entire regional area is in your awareness. Stretch it out further so that your entire country is in your awareness. Stretch it out further so that your entire continent or neighboring continent is in your awareness. Stretch it out further so that you are aware of both the east and the west. That you feel all the land, that you feel all of the oceans, that you feel the entire world, that you can feel the rotation of the earth, that you can feel her north and south poles, that you can feel her atmosphere, that you can feel her entire body. I want you just to feel the earth as you, for you truly are the earth as well. I want you just to place your hands upon your heart, as your heart is the heart of the earth. Feeling your hands upon your body, as your body is the body of the earth. I want you to feel your heart just opening up like a blossoming flower. And you're feeling all of this glorious light flowing within the heart. And all of that light is reciprocated as the light of the earth. And just as you are aware of the entire earth right now, I want you just to pour that light out through your heart. Just like you're guiding it like a ray, a beam of light that is saturating the entire body of the earth right now. For as you are aware of the earth is now completely saturated with this loving energy from your heart that you are guiding and saturating the entire planet with. Letting all of the lands of the earth being saturated with this love. Letting all of the oceans of the earth being saturated with this love. Letting the sky of the earth being saturated. Letting the atmosphere of the earth being saturated. And letting all life upon the surface of the earth be saturated with this pure love that is radiating out through your heart right now. Just seeing it like a giant field of light that is raining down all of these light particles towards everything that is the earth and everything that is upon the earth. Just feel those raining down of light particles touching everything of the earth, touching humankind, touching the animal kingdom, touching the vegetation kingdom, the plant kingdom, touching the mineral kingdom, touching the elemental kingdom, touching the atomic kingdom. Let everything within all dimensionality that represents the realm of the earth be touched by these loving light particles that are being saturated upon the earth through your heart. Everyone is being touched by them. Everything is being touched by them. Like these light particles that are just raining down from the sky in a prolific amount, completely covering the entire earth and everything on her. Now I want you now just to take 2 minutes of silence as you just feel that beautiful love from your heart touching everything that is the earth and that is upon the earth. And we'll have that 2 minutes of silence beginning now. And just taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And just feeling all of that remaining light of love. It's pulsating from your heart. Letting that all slowly starting to fold back into the heart as the heart returns back into its closure. And just feel the effect of all of the love that you have saturated upon the entire earth. Feel that effect of all the life that you have poured all of your love into upon the earth. Knowing that your love that you share for the earth and for all of her children upon the earth makes all the difference. For that is how powerful your love truly is. And slowly now coming back into the awareness of your physical body. Feeling all of that love energy just grounding back with yourself. For as you send that love energy to the earth, she reciprocates that back to you. And you're just feeling all of that love as it comes back into yourself. From the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. Just letting yourself ground. Coming back into the physical body and just doing some very small movements of the body, slowly moving your fingers, slowly rotating your wrists, slowly rotating your shoulders, curling your toes, fluttering your eyes. Give yourself a nice stretch if you need it. And when you are ready, you can come on back. Okay, very good. So thank you everybody for joining me for the Mass Earth meditation. Like I said, just go back to the recording again. You can do it again and again. The more that you're sending that beautiful love to the earth, the more that this reward is not only going to be so beneficial for her, but all of that's coming back to you as well too. When we give that love, it's going to come back to us, and it's going to come back to us multiple times fold. So it's going to be great. Right? So keep working with that. Very important. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and move on next into distance healing. So if you guys do have a request for yourself, or if you do have requests for others, you can feel free to put that into the chat. I'll take about 5 volunteers today, and then we're going to go into group healing. Then we're going to go right into Q&A afterwards. All right. So I'm just going to go through the chat here and just see if we have any requests for distance healing. And so again, hello everybody. Good morning to you all. Afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And happy 11/11, right? Happy November 11th. It's a very blessed day so far, so hope you're all having a wonderful day. Okay. Okay, this one isn't actually a healing request, but it's a question regarding the healing code cards. Francine asks, hi Brad, question on healing code cards. When I place a picture of myself and others on a healing code card, how long do I leave it for? Hours or days? Thanks so much. I would say if you're working to heal another person, you want to keep that card on them for at least 24 hours. Okay, so 24 hours would be the minimum, right? So if maybe they have a bad back or something and you're using the spine enhancer, maybe you have an amplifier underneath it, you have their picture, and you're putting that face down on the card, I'd say just put that aside for a total of 24 hours minimally. Okay. If you want to go longer, you can do longer, but as long as you have that 24-hour period. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have a question here from Martine. Thank you for your donation. I request healing onto opening my heart to be able to love and to be loved, please. Okay, so basically the whole idea here, Martine, is we want to actually clear away what is preventing you from loving, what is preventing you from opening your heart, what is preventing you from giving your love to others? What is preventing you from feeling that love within yourself, right? And all of that really just comes down to states of struggle and states of misery. So that's what we can work on today for your distance healing, okay? So no problem at all. So Martine, I just want you to go ahead and join me now. And just keep your spine nice and straight. You can place your hands upon the center of your chest. We'll take 3 deep breaths in and out. So go ahead. And again. And once more. All right, placing your hands in prayer posture. Feeling your heart opening up. Okay, so just see your heart like it's a rose that is blossoming. Okay, that's all you have to do. Even if you just see that visual image in your mind where you're just seeing a rose blossoming or a flower blossoming, just see your heart doing the same. Okay? As that happens, feel the light inside that beautiful flower, and all of that love is now coming in between your palms. And now we're just expanding the palms with our breath, making that light as vast as the cosmos, representing your love, your trust, and your faith. And just slowly now starting to bring the hands back together. As that's happening, saying the affirmation, I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay? All right, Martine, we will go ahead now and begin. Okay, Martine, just bringing all of that light now back into your heart as you reach your hands out, slowly bringing it back in. As you're doing that, you're just saying, God is making me better. God is making me better. God is making me better. Bringing all of that light back into the heart. Just feeling all of that light permeate your entire being. Feeling that love, appreciation, and joy flowing and radiating through you. Clearing away all the turmoil, all the tension, all the conflicts, all the miseries. All of that is fading away, and all that remains is your true love. Love for you to have, love for you to give, love for you to work with. Infinite love and blessings to you. Namaskar. Okay, thank you, Martine. Okay, this one here is for Karen. Karen has a request. Healing for my sister who's had vertigo, fatigue, and anxiety for the past 3 years. All right, so I'll just refer to her as Karen's sister, and we can certainly work on that as well too. So for this, I'm just going to be calling in your sister's higher self, Karen. Okay, so I'll just be asking Karen's sister's higher self. Be present with me now. Oh, she's here. Very good. All right. So just placing those hands together, expanding the light. Higher self knows what to do. And just stating that affirmation, I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. As we bring our hands into prayer posture. And for Karen's sister, we will begin. Okay, and to Karen's sister's higher self, just bringing all of that light back into herself now. God is making me better. God is making me better. God is making me better. Putting all of that back into the heart. And with love and appreciation to Karen's sister. So keep an eye on her in the next few days, Karen. You'll start to feel a lot of that debris within herself starting to fade away, and her vertigo is going to fade away too. All right? Infinite love and blessings to you both. Namaskar. Thank you. Okay, this one here is from Ritus. Ritus says, "Hi Brad, I'm having some stomach issues off and on. I usually mean off and off, but off and on. And request if you can do some healing for me." Certainly. Okay. And after Ritus, I'll do 2 more people. Then we're going to do a group healing. So Ritus, go ahead now and just get yourself nice and relaxed. You can place your hands upon the center of your chest, taking 3 deep breaths in and out. So in. And again. And one more time. Okay, very good. Now bringing your hands into prayer posture. Just letting the heart opening up like a flower. Letting all that love energy from the heart, let its light come in between your palms. Expanding your palms out as you expand the light. Inhaling, exhaling, letting all of that beautiful light permeate the entire cosmos. It is your love, your trust, your faith. And as you're slowly bringing your hands back in, just saying the affirmation, I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay, so just let yourself relax now, and we'll begin. Okay, so rightus, just bringing all of that light back in, putting it back into the heart. As that's happening, just saying, God is making me better. God is making me better. God is making me better. Putting all of that light back into your heart. And once I'm done talking to you, rightus, what I want you to do is I want you just to go get a glass of water. I want you just to sip the glass of water down. Once you finish the glass of water, you will know 100% that your stomach will be fully recovered, fully replenished, fully taken care of, and will be restored as it was, feeling as good as it was in your youth. All right? Infinite love and blessings to you. Namaskar. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take the next donation here. This is from BB. Hello, BB. BB says, "Hi, Brad. Please send some healing for my daughter, Sabrina, who is afraid of change." Okay, so it's really just regarding fear. So certainly we can do that. And BB, if you want to help her in the background, you're more than welcome to. If anybody else wants to help out in the background, they certainly can too. So this is for your daughter, Sabrina, who is afraid of change. Okay, so I'm just going to call in her higher self now, just for Sabrina's higher self to be present with me. Okay, she is present with me now. And through her higher self, we'll expand the light. Bringing that to the hands back in. I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay, working on Sabrina's fear of change. Here we go. Okay, so for Sabrina's higher self, we're just bringing all of that light back in. God is making me better. God is making me better. God is making me better. Bringing all of that light back into the heart. And so for Sabrina BB, I just worked with Spirit. Spirit is just saturating her body with the purest love, the purest happiness, helping to really just smooth out those edges, just helping to clear away any conflicting cords that is causing her to still fuel that fear of change. Okay, so just be aware of how she's feeling over the next little while, and if there's changes to report, you can feel free to share that with me. Okay, so before we do our last healing request, I forgot to mention that I was originally going to be debuting the brand new healing code beds. I forgot to mention this in the announcement section, but oh well. I was going to be originally announcing the debut of the healing code beds on November 22nd, but I'm actually going to save that for November 25th. The reason being because I'm just getting back from Mexico. I'll probably want a day or two to recover from all the traveling. So on the Friday of November 25th, because I believe that's what it is, yep, Friday, November 25th, will be the official debut of not only the brand new Healing Code Shop website, which will be a combination of Healing Code cards and Healing Code Shop, but it will also be the debut of the Healing Code beds. Now, the great thing about the healing code beds as well too is you can also have a sampler. Okay, so there will be a sampler card that will be created for free that you guys will be able to download and print out. Like I said, print them out on photo paper when you can, and you basically just put this underneath your pillow when you go to sleep, and that sampler will actually show you a small amount of the effects that you will get through the healing code bed. Okay, so it's kind of like a free sample. So that will be available for you while you wait for your bed order. Okay, so that will be available November 25th. Okay, so the debut of the healing code beds, the debut of the brand new website, and of course with that free sampler that you guys will have available as well too. So I'm looking forward to the 25th. Also on November 25th will be the debut of the distance healing by donation sessions. Okay, so I will have a brand new session on newearthteachings.com, distance healing by donation. Okay, and you guys will be able to just go on and leave a donation and then just ask for any particular type of healing request that you like, and I'll be doing those as well too. So there'll be more information on that when we get into November 25th. All right, so some very exciting things to look forward to. All right, so we're going to go to our last volunteer here. Let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, this is for Millie Moon. Millie says, healing request for belief, shame, playing out as social anxiety, and fear of being seen. Okay, so if there's a fear of being seen, basically a lot of this just comes from abuse, Millie. Okay, so if you're feeling ashamed that you don't want to go out, if you're feeling a social anxiety in that sense, a lot of that comes from abuse, right? It doesn't have to be physical abuse, but a lot of it is verbal and mental abuse, okay? And that sits with us. That just, it's the shame weighing us down, okay? So we'll certainly work on that today for you. So Millie, just get yourself nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable, placing your hands upon the center of your chest, taking a deep breath in and out. And again. And one more time. Placing your hands in prayer posture, feeling your heart opening up like a blossoming flower, and feeling all your light going into your palms, expanding them out with your breath, permeating the entire cosmos with your light, your love, your trust, your faith, and bringing your hands slowly back. As you do, saying, I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. Okay, we will now begin. Okay, so Millie, just expanding your hands out, gathering all of that light now, just bringing that light back into your heart. As you're doing that, just saying out loud or in your mind, God is making me better. God is making me better. God is making me better. Putting all of that into your heart. Okay, very good. So again, just be aware of how you're feeling over the next little while. I'd say between now and the next 24 hours, you're going to be feeling a very big, different change in mood. Okay, so a lot of purging is happening, but a lot of things will start balancing out within yourself. Okay, thank you very much, Millie. All right, everybody, we're now going to do a group healing session. Then we're going to get right into your questions. Okay, so make sure you have your questions ready. You can go ahead and start putting your questions in the chat now if you like. But we're going to do a group healing. So with the group healing, just doing a body scan on yourself. Okay, so just starting off at the top of your head, and just be aware of what you're feeling physically, mentally, and emotionally as you're just doing this soft body scan, and you're just being aware of anything that you are willing to let go of now. From the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And once you have that thing that you're willing to let go of, just imagine like you're extracting it out through a ball, like a soap bubble. It contains a little bit of that black mist inside that represents the disturbance, represents the distortion, the discrepancy. And just have it directly in front of you. And you may also notice that as the healing is commencing, you may start to feel black mist excreting from your body. Do not be alarmed by that. That is, again, residuals of other debris within your body that can also be released simultaneously. In this particular group healing today, I'm going to put you all in the spirit ball again. Okay? So again, as you're in the spirit ball, you'll be focusing on that bubble and just watching the mist inside that bubble shrink down until it can no longer be seen anymore. And like I said, you may have the excretions of the black mist. You may start to see that getting shrunken down. If any of that remains, don't worry. I'll guide you through the process as we get into the later point of the group healing. Now again, if you do want to dedicate this to another person, you certainly can do that as well too. Okay, so just placing your hands in prayer posture, feeling your hearts lighting up now, opening up like a flower, putting all that love energy into your hands, expanding that light out, permeating the entire cosmos with it. Your love, your trust, your faith. Slowly bringing the hands back together now. As you do, just saying, I completely believe that the healing that I shall receive will heal me. If you dedicate this to another, you're just saying, I completely believe that the healing that they shall receive will heal them. Okay, just bringing your hands back now. And now you can put them on your lap and just let yourself relax. Follow your breath as you breathe in and you breathe out. And we will now begin. Okay. So I want you just to look ahead right now and just ask yourself, is that ball directly in front of me empty? Okay, if the answer is yes, you can just watch that ball pop or vanish. And if you notice that there's any excretions of that black mist around you, if you once saw it, just seeing if it is still around you. Okay? If it by chance is still around you, or if there still is a little bit of debris in that ball, I want you just to be aware of everything there. And I want you just to completely and totally surrender to everything. Okay? If that ball still has some debris in it, if there's still some of that excreted black mist around your area, just completely surrendering, just completely letting it go. And just tuning into your awareness, being present, being aware, and just letting all of that drop, like you're just dropping a heavy bag from your hands. Completely letting go, relinquishing any claimancy, any ownership, any responsibility pertaining to this mind-based debris. Surrendering it completely, and once you feel you have 100% surrendered to everything, just go ahead and snap your fingers, and that will release everything. Everything vanishes. All right. Deep breath in, deep breath out, and relax. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for joining me for the group healing and for the healing requests, and as well, too, for the guided meditation. So now we're going to move into our final segment, which is Q&A now. So we'll be getting into questions and answers. So if you guys do have questions, again, let's keep them semi-personal or general in nature. They can be on any topic, but just semi-personal, meaning it's something for you, but it benefits others as well, too, or general in nature. Okay, I'll switch to live chat. So hello, everybody. All right, so again, guys, if you leave a donation, that will put your question first in line, okay? Otherwise, I'm just going through the list of questions here. All right, so let me just go down the list here a bit more. I think I'll switch to live chat. There we go. All right. So just give me a moment here, guys, as I just go down the list. Okay, this one here is from Carol Ann. Carol Ann asks, hi, Brad, I have a question. Please, what is the future of New York State, especially after this governor race that has just happened? Thank you so much. Okay, so we can look in the tarot for that, about the future for New York. See what happens with that. Well, it looks like new opportunities are going to be coming because a lot of the old stuff that has been part of politics surrounding the New York State is about to be flushed out, right? So new opportunities, new ideas, new fresh innovations. Again, it's not just looking at New York, though, looking at the entire United States, even looking at a multitude of different countries. We're seeing a big flush taking place here, okay? So this is attaining victory, which means that right now, in front of the scenes, we're seeing a lot of things change tremendously, okay? So again, there still is a little bit of flushing of the deep cabal, so to speak, the deep state, you can call it that, dark cabal in that sense. But things are changing dramatically, right? So there certainly has been a lot of corruption, particularly within the New York area as well, too. And this is still being continuously flushed out, but I feel it's being flushed out right now to the point where, just like I said, it's not just so much the state as it is the entire country, right? The entire country is just about to be completely balanced out, okay? But there's still some flushing, there's still some processing that's taking place. But the good news is that New York will start to get cleaned up a lot more, okay? It's probably going to take a couple more months, but it's kind of like giving it a colon cleanse right now. That's exactly what's happening with New York at this particular time, right? So again, this is kind of the good news, is that we're seeing victory over a lot of this, right? So there still is Still is a little bit of stuff that needs to be flushed out from New York, as well as much of the United States, particularly Washington as well too. That needs to be flushed out as well too. But it's coming along really, really well. Where they're getting a lot of the filth out of politics. They're getting a lot of the filth out of the systems, right? So all of it is going through a very big cleansing. And within the next couple of months, we're going to start to see things starting to balance themselves out a bit more. Okay, there will be some intensity to come, right? There's going to be some very strong, kind of like red hot transformations taking place. Not white hot, right? White hot was the summer, but there's going to be some red hot changes taking place. Oops, dropping my tarot over. Taking place as we continue to move closer to the new year. So as we get closer to the new year, a lot more changes taking place. So we're going to see pretty much a whole new transitional government taking place for New York, okay, but for the entire United States as well. All right. Thank you, Carol Ann, for your question. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next question. Okay, here's a question here from Leica. Leica says, what causes Alzheimer's? Well, a lot of it is toxins in the body. There's quite a lot of different things. A lot of it is sluggishness in the brain. It is toxins in the brain. Some of it is heavy metals. Some of it, again, is just bad food that we've been eating. Some of it can be vaccinations that have happened in the past. Some of it, again, can be emotional and mental degradation. Okay, there's a lot of causes that come together with it, but it's particularly a lot of physical toxins that are affecting the brain, causing certain levels of short-circuiting, right? So a lot of toxic metals that come from inside the body, move itself up to the brain, and certain areas of the brain are getting affected. Those metals are coming into the brain and causing this disruption, and that's basically one of the main causes of Alzheimer's. So basically we want to work with healing the brain primarily, right? We also want to heal the nervous system. We do want to heal the organs, but basically being able to heal the brain, getting a lot of those metals out, okay? So in the body deck, the Healing Code Cards body deck, there's the heavy metal eliminator, okay? And just putting that on your body, looking at it, gazing at it for 60 seconds, okay? Charging your water with it, using the capture method, okay? Is going to be reprogramming the cells in the body through prana. That's going to help to clean out a lot of that, okay? Now, when you're using the Healing Code cards, talk to the cards, okay? I know that sounds weird, okay? But just as the tarot is alive, so too are the Healing Code cards, okay? Healing Code cards are alive, okay? Tarot and Healing Code cards, they are both alive. So that's what you want to work with. So you want to, if you have a loved one who has Alzheimer's, put the heavy metal eliminator on them, okay? So if they don't want that card anywhere near them, use the capture method, okay? Have a photo of them. Put it down on the heavy metal eliminator. Clear them out, okay? Work with the biotoxin eliminator if they've had vaccinations, okay? Biotoxin eliminator, clearing them out. Work on their organs, okay? Work on their brain. Work on their heart. Work on their lungs. Work on their liver. Work on their kidneys. Work on their stomach, okay? Work on their pancreas. Work on their intestines. Work on all of the major organs as well too. So do a lot of work for them, okay? The good news is that when we're clearing away physical toxicity in another person, we do not need to ask their permission, okay, guys? I want you to really pay attention to that. As long as you are clearing away physical toxicity within another, you don't need their permission to do it, all right? When it comes to emotional and mental issues that are a little bit more deeper embedded in their core, that's where we need to have permission because we have to have cooperation, okay? If you already know how to talk to their higher self, then you won't need to talk to them physically, okay? That's the trick. Now, if you guys do have friends or family that are very stubborn in that way, if you have the natural ability to talk to their higher self, and the higher self grants you the ability to work on their emotional state, be it through Healing Code cards or through healing that you're doing, you'll be able to do it, okay? It's exactly what I'm doing with you guys, right? When you guys send me other people, that I'm not personally talking to, I'm talking to their higher self. Their higher self, yes, is come on, go ahead, right? And so that's where healing can come together. So unless you're able to dialogue with the higher self, then what I would suggest is just work with their physical body, work with the Healing Code cards, and helping them out that way, okay? Thank you very much for your question. Okay, this is from Buibsy. Love the name. Asking the question, with the body scan, do we visualize the body on the mental screen or directly focus on the personal body? Okay, well, that's up to you. Okay, however you guys visualize is up to you. It doesn't really matter how you visualize. What matters is that you visualize. Okay, so if I'm basically saying do a body scan, and maybe you just feel like a blip. It's like a radar screen, right? You just, okay, here's a blip on the radar here. Oh, it's something here. Something with old shame that I'm ready to let go of. Okay, well, there you go. Some of us may not even visualize. We may just feel into our body, and we feel that something's there. Okay, I'm feeling this. Yeah, it's something with great sadness. Okay, I'm going to take that out and clear that away. Or here's something with a stomach ache. I have a stomach ache right now, so I'm going to pull that out and let Brad take care of it through the healing. That's great too, right? You don't always have to visualize. When you're doing a body scan, it can just be a feeling scan, a scan of feelings within your body. It just depends how we are, okay? Some of us are not too visual, right? Now, everybody can visualize, but you have to start at a certain point, right? So if I basically told you guys right now to close your eyes and just to see a triangle in void, could you do it? I'm pretty sure you could. Okay. If I told you just to see a little white dot in the middle of black void, could you do it? I think you could, right? If I told you to envision something that really means a lot to you, right? Let's say we have an object, okay? Let's say we have a basketball, okay? And you're playing basketball all the time. And I say, okay, I want you to see a basketball in your hand. Could you do it? You could, because you're playing with basketball all the time. You're playing a basketball game. You know the basketball. It's very natural to you. You can visualize that, no problem. So the very easy things to visualize for those who are struggling with visualization is to be familiar with something that is naturally a part of your life, okay? So if I'm holding up a tarot card here, okay, if I'm holding up the Five of Pentacles, and I see this card all the time, and I know exactly what it looks like, well, it's familiar to me. I can close my eyes, and I can see the picture of the Five of Pentacles. It's not a problem because it's familiar to me, okay? If I have this black marker here, because I'm using this all the time, okay, I can close my eyes, and I can easily visualize this black marker because I'm using it all the time. Guys, that's the secret to visualization. Now, the most important thing is that you want to hold your vision as often as you can, okay? Even if I'm having an object here, like a black marker, and I'm looking at it, I'm scrutinizing it, I'm palpating it, okay? I feel its texture, I feel its weight, I'm aware of its visual, I'm aware of everything pertaining to its shape, its texture, everything, okay? If I'm aware of all of that, then I can just close my eyes and I can feel myself doing the same thing. I'm visualizing the black marker. So, work with visualization that you can relate to, right? Work with visualization. Maybe you have a picture of your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your kids, and you can see their face, no problem, as soon as you close your eyes. Good. Do that. Okay? Anything that you have personal rapport with, use that to visualize. And that's going to help to increase your capability to visualize. Okay? You're exercising your inner muscle. Okay? You're exercising your cognition. You're exercising your inner visualization. It's all becoming natural to you. Keep practicing every single day, and it's going to be amazing. Okay? So however you want to do the body scan is entirely up to you. That's for you to decide as a creator. Okay? There's no wrong way from it. Thank you. All right. Okay, BW says, do your healings apply to others who have the same condition? Some people have claimed that yes. Like I wasn't directly talking to a person. I've had a few people email me this as well too. Said, oh Brad, when you were doing this healing for a person with a headache, I tuned in as well too, and I got the same effect. So yeah. There are people who have told me, because I didn't intend to give it to anybody else, but they tuned in to when I was doing it, and they were able to receive the benefit from it as well too. So yes, it certainly can be in alignment with others if they have a similar condition too. All right. So good question there. All right, let's go down the list here a bit more. Co-creating says, question, if you're able to discuss the harvest of 2037. I can't. Okay, it's way too soon for us to really talk about that. To talk about the harvest, like I said, it's more 2037, 2038. Okay, what you guys have heard me talk about before with 2037 and 2038 is all I can really talk about at this time. Okay. So go back to those videos. You can even just type in my search bar, on the search bar of my channel, 2037, 2038. I talk about quite a bit of stuff there. I cannot really elaborate any further on that. It's just too soon to give you guys any details. Maybe when we get into the 2030s, we'll see. But what do I mean by harvest? I mean basically that you're graduating yourself. You've moved yourself into a transition where you're no longer having to repeat this old cycle. You're no longer having to repeat this age of prophecy. You're no longer having to repeat this type of era. You have harvested yourself past it, right? So it's kind of like graduating from the earth plane, right? You still have a body. You're still physically here, right? Of course, some of us may leave around that time, just as any of us could leave this year or next year or the year after, etc. But nonetheless, you have graduated. You have moved yourself out of the learning of this particular cycle, and that's harvest, okay? So harvest is graduation. It is reaping yourself, and it is moving yourself into new phases, new cycles, new transformations. Okay, it's not about the idea that you're just going to suddenly burst into a big pillar of light and then just vanish as soon as January 1st, 2038 comes. Okay, that's not the key. But that's what I'm talking about with harvest. Okay, it's graduating so that you do not need to repeat the lessons of this cycle again. That's what I mean by harvest. Okay. Thank you very much, Co-Creating. Okay, this is just from Lisa. Lisa, thanks for the donation. She says, it's not a question, just a testimonial that the 2 healing cards works and are very powerful. Okay, so Lisa, I believe you're referring to these 2. Okay, so the positive polarity collector and the negative polarity receiver. Guys, have you got your energy deck yet? Right, either physical or digital. Use these 2 cards. Use these 2 cards. Use these 2 cards, okay? They are awesome. They are great. Again, all of the cards in the energy deck are very powerful, but these 2 really just stand out of all 3 decks. These 2 are the most unique because the healing code bed is based on these 2 things, okay? The healing code bed is going to be taking energy from your solar plexus. Don't worry because you have ton. It's only giving, it's kind of like taking the excess of your prana from the solar plexus, and it's going to use that as a power supply for your entire bed. And so basically your entire solar plexus prana is the power source to your healing code bed, right? And you're going to have organs healed, you're going to have glands healed, you're going to have the chakras healed, you're going to have the entire bodily systems healed. It's great. And you're going to have a lucid mode where it will assist you with lucid dreaming. You're going to have a great sleep mode where it's going to balance out your brain waves. Oh my God, it's going to be so awesome. And the healing code bed is even more powerful than the healing code cards. Okay, so you guys are going to really have a great experience with the healing code bed when it comes out here on November 25th. Okay, so I'm looking forward to debuting it. I basically got it all finished, and it's just a matter of I'm going through a third party company is preparing the bed sheets. Now, on average, it can take about 10 to 20 business days for them to get everything ready because it is a very big order, but it's well worth the wait. Okay, so I'm looking forward to rolling that out on the 25th of November, as well as with the new website and also with distance healing by donation as well. Thank you, Lisa, for that. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, this is from Sean. Sean says, hi Brad, there were several reports about a strange fog in Ontario and other parts of Canada last week. Many people smelled chemical type smells. Can you tell us if it was a nefarious agenda? Why don't we look into the cards for that? Get an idea about this mysterious fog. Interesting. I haven't had one of these kind of mysterious readings in a while. So let's take a look. Okay. This feels like something that has been dismantled. Okay, so there's something in regards between the Dark Cabal and the counterforces. Okay, looks like something that was being dismantled, something that was happening, maybe something that was basically a result of something that was meant to be disastrous. but is basically being averted. Okay, so there's a feeling here of something that has been highly kept discreet, highly kept secret, right? A plan failed, right? Something that was attempting to happen but didn't, but of course resulted in this fog. So again, this feels like there's like two sides fighting with this. But the good news is, whatever it is, it will not be a hazardous threat. But I feel like there was some type of attempt to create some type of weaponized gas or something of that nature. But for some reason, maybe some of it got out. But I think it was basically trying to be some type of pollutant attack or chemical attack in that sense. Whatever the fog is in that sense, I'm not too sure if that's dispelling the chemicals. The fog may be a result of that. But I think there was basically trying to be some type of chemical warfare. There was some type of onslaught or battle that was looking to ensue between the Dark Cabal. Counter forces came in and were able to take care of it. But whatever the situation was, it was originally supposed to be quite nasty. But the good news, it's averted. That fog may be the idea of the alleviation of whatever it is that they were trying to do. Okay. That's basically what I'm getting through the reading. Okay. So the good news is something was averted, but they were originally planning to do something quite nasty. So it's been averted from what I can see. Thank you, Sean. Okay, so just give me a moment here, guys. I'm just looking through the list. Okay, so Grow here has a question about HARP in Norway. Okay, so guys, all HARP systems are taken over by the counter forces now. Okay, Dark Cabal no longer has any form of control whatsoever pertaining to HARP technology. It's all in the counter forces' hands. Do you guys remember the Norway spiral that took place back in 2009? Okay, that was a spiral that was using HARP technology. Okay, they were trying to create some weather changes. They were trying to do some nasty stuff. They were basically trying to create, well, you could say it's like the HARP spiral. But basically, in that sense, that's all part of trying to manipulate weather, trying to do weather changes as well, too. My guess is that maybe that got delayed or bombarded or something of that nature. But for a bit of time now, a lot of the HARP facilities have been taken over by counterforces. Okay, so that's not really something that they have access to anymore. Like I said, guys, the Dark Cabal has pretty much lost control of pretty much all of its toys. Okay, it doesn't really have that much anymore. So all of these different facilities, if we look at CERN, okay, CERN is taken over by the counterforces. If we look at HARP, HARP is taken over by the counterforces. If we're looking at a lot of the weaponized satellites, they're being taken over by the counterforces as well too. If we look at Bluebeam, okay, that too is being taken over by the counterforces. So there's a lot that the old forces, the old dark forces don't have anymore. Okay, a lot of it's being stripped away from them because the numbers in counterforces is getting stronger every day, and the Dark Cabal is being completely overwhelmed by it. All right. So nothing to be concerned about. Right? I have talked about this before, pertaining to common weaponized systems, and that they're no longer in the hands of Dark Cabal. All right. Okay. So just give me a moment here, guys. I'm still just looking at some questions here. Okay, so Keep the Faith has a question here about activity happening on the White House, people on the roof and buses in front of the White House, what may be going on today at the White House. Well, like I said, guys, there's really nobody at the White House anymore, right? That whole building has pretty much been abandoned for quite some time. But we'll take a look and see what the cards say about what is the activity that's taking place right now at the White House, okay, and what it represents. So the White House feels like a military briefing facility now. Okay, it's where the military is. Everybody else pertaining to a lot of the inhabitants previously have been taken out of there. Okay, but there's a lot of discussions that are taking place at the White House in that sense, and there are basically certain invited guests that are able to come into the White House in that sense. A lot of it is militarily run. Okay, so the White House is almost kind of like a military stronghold right now. I think they were basically doing a lot of debriefings or taking care of certain things, right? So if you're saying that there's buses coming in, people on the roof as well too. So my guess is there's some type of military operations taking place in the White House altogether. But it certainly is not the old White House that we're familiar with. Okay. Good news is that whatever it is they're doing, it's going to be moving into something very positive, right? So it may be the idea of briefings, intelligence reports, operations that are being planned out through the White House that is basically taking down the rest of the corrupt. Okay. So I just think that there's a lot of different intel that they're getting. They're kind of sorting through things, finding out what works, what might not work, right? So there's a whole intelligence committee contained inside the White House, something militaristic. Okay. And they're working there constantly. They've been in there for quite some time. So Mr. B, Biden, is in his Hollywood White House. Okay. It's certainly not the real one. But the real one has basically been overtaken by military intelligence. Okay. So it's a militarized White House. So I'm sure there's a lot of bizarre events taking place there because they're basically treating it like a military infrastructure. Okay. So that's basically what I'm getting. So it's almost like not the White House anymore. It's the military house. I guess the best way you can put it. All right. Thank you for your question. Okay. Okay, guys, so there's just a couple of questions here that I've talked about before, so I'm not really going to go into them. Okay. Just about certain things that I've elaborated greatly, extensively in the past. Okay. I know some of you guys are new, but this is why I encourage you guys to check out some of the previous episodes of New Earth TV Live and even going back to New Earth Insights. Okay. New Earth Tarot will be coming up on the Thursday that I return. Okay. So on the 24th of November, I'll be debuting a brand new 1-hour webcast on Thursdays. Okay. I think that they're going to start off at 11 o'clock for a while, and then they're going to move up to 10 a.m. after a little while. But at 11 o'clock on the Thursday that I come back, which is the 24th, I'll be starting a 1-hour webcast called New Earth Tarot, where I'll be looking into these things through the tarot and through higher self-communication as well too. Okay, so it'll be a 1-hour webcast dedicated to that on any question, semi-personal or general in nature. Okay. Okay. So we're pretty much seeing, guys, how the entire escapade, how the entire agenda of COVID is going down right now, right? They're actually now starting to try to get sympathy from people and saying, oh, you know, we're sorry, we didn't know what we were doing, we thought we were doing the right stuff with the science and blah, 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 right? They're starting to do a lot more exposure surrounding that, kind of like what I've talked about in the past. And that I would see something like this. Oh yeah, you know, we were just following the science. We were just doing what we needed to do. We just had to do this, right? It was what we had to do. We didn't know any better. Come on, give us a break. Blah, 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 blah. Right? It's going to start off like that, and then it's going to lead to some very, very deeper accountability that's going to take place. So again, right on cue. Okay? We're seeing that around now with the mainstream media, with all that. So, oh, come on, guys. Don't be so hard on us. We're just following the science. It's all we were just being told to do, right? Don't be so hard on us, right? We were just trying to follow things. We're just trying to follow orders. We're just trying to do this. We're just trying to do that. Right on cue. That's the official narrative. Do you see, guys, now how fake the narrative is? Do you see how much of a facade it is? Do you see how much of a joke it is? Okay? The way that they're acting. Oh, yeah, we're sorry. We didn't mean this. We were just following the science. We're just doing this, blah, 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 blah. It's so fake. It's a clown show. It's a 3-ring circus, right? You might as well be turning on a soap opera, right? So don't even concern about this piggyback 3-ring circus garbage of mainstream media feeding you a bunch of this gunk, right? Let it all go. It doesn't matter. Just they're all going to be held accountable for the ones who have been responsible, right? And that's not something for you to stress out about, to worry about, because what you're seeing on the television is not real. It's a script. It's a narrative. It's a ploy. It's a joke, right? Work with each other. Help with each other out. Stand together. Empower each other. Stand strong. And that is what's going to make a difference, is when we come together united in thought, united in presence. That's the key. Okay. So I think we're going to take a couple more questions here, guys. Let me see. So again, guys, there's a comment here about chemtrails. So like I said, guys, please watch last week's New Earth TV Live, because I did one specially on chemtrails, okay? So work together with that, right? Even when you're doing stuff individually, it's going to help, okay? If you get some other people to work together, like I said, guys, there are group meditations all the time happening where people are meditating on clearing up chemtrails, okay? Those are common ones. You can find them on YouTube, you can find them on Facebook, you can find them on social media. It's a lot of groups that specifically do meditations on chemtrails. Join them, right? Work together with them, clear them all out, right? So like I said, there are some changes taking place with the chemtrails, but there are still certain areas that have the old ones happening, the old polluting ones still happening here. But a lot of them are being taken down, fortunately. So again, find your soul tribe, find your group, work together. That's what's going to make a difference here. Okay. Okay, here's a good question here from Doug Hartman. Doug says, when these counterforces get done with their work, what will happen to them? Okay. You guys have to remember that you're the counterforces too, okay? The counterforces are not just military personnel. They're not just politicians, okay? They're not just world leaders that have been turncoat, right? You guys are counterforces too. So it's important to really remember that, okay? So let's take a look at the cards, see what the cards say about that. What will happen when the counterforces are done their work? Will they take over? Well, in the best way that I can put it, they're here to completely kill the cabal, okay? Now, basically, I'm talking about the ones primarily behind the scenes, but basically, we're doing it as well, too. We're killing the idea of the cabal, okay? What they're doing behind the scenes is they're hunting them down like dogs, okay? Anybody who has been part of the cabal is like public enemy number one on them. They basically have wanted posters on them, you could say, and they basically have a shoot-to-kill mentality on them. They want to completely and totally annihilate them, okay? That's exactly what the counterforce is all about. So we're going to hunt them down, and we're going to take care of them. We don't want a single one left, right? Any of these devil-worshipping psychopaths that are still trying to run things, we are going to hunt every single one of them down, and we will not stop until they are dead, okay? That's the behind-the-scenes counterforce mentality, okay? They want to completely annihilate, eviscerate, destroy, right? Completely wipe them off the mat. Right, wipe them off the map, I should say. Wipe them off the mat if they're like scraping them off their boot. That's basically their mentality, okay? And that's up to them. That's their mentality, all right? With us, it's moving upwards to love, okay? With us in front of the scenes here, with the people, right? Love is what prevails. But we're standing strong so that we cannot be taken over again. We're looking into a new transformation, right? So we see this little kid holding up this big staff. It's about us learning. It's about us evolving. It's about us educating ourselves. It's about us coming together, okay? So that's exactly what's going to happen. The counter forces in front of the scenes are going to unite a lot more. The ones behind the scenes that are basically exterminating the dark cabal are going to be running things, okay? And then there's going to be some changes taking place. Changes will always be happening, guys. It's the mind, right? It's always going to be changing. And like I said, there's just going to be kind of like the trumpet being sound of victory, trumpet being sound of new changes taking place, new systems taking place, new infrastructures happening, new financial system happening, right? Everything new that's coming together. The world will not be run by the corrupt anymore, That's where we're going. The corrupt is dying. We will not live in a world where the corrupt are running things. It's not going to happen. And anybody that tries to be corrupt, well, there will be counter forces on top of those guys too. And they will go. So again, the people will basically be the intelligence of the entire planet. They will look at everything. Everything will become a lot more transparent, right? They're being aware of the kind of leaders that are there. They're watching the leaders like a hawk, right? And if they start showing the old signs, that person's going to be relieved. They're going to be taken out of the picture, and they're going to leave, okay? So they're being aware of the sneaky ones. They're being aware of the ones that want to cause trouble. They're being aware of the ones that have their own agendas, and they're being taken out, and everything is shifting around, okay? So we're seeing temperance, we're seeing shift, we're seeing an alchemy, we're seeing a transmutation taking place here, where again, transitional government is taking place, transitional politics, transitional finance, transitional technology, transitional education, transitional medicine. Everything is changed. Guys, read my lips. Not a single stone is going to be left unturned. Not a single one. Everything's got to change. I want you to put that in your brain right now. Every single thing on this planet is going to change. Everything. Okay, say that to yourself right now. Every single thing on this planet is going to change. All in capital letters. Everything. Not a single stone will be left unturned. Everything's changing. Everything. 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 Okay. Brad, what about this? Everything. Brad, what about that? Everything. I'll have to put like a big gigantic poster board on your wall that says everything will change. That's what's taking place right now. That's the counter forces job. And you guys are the counter forces too. Okay? So everything that represents the opposition to the corrupt is the counter force. And our job is to take all that stuff out, get out of here with all that old debris and corruption. We'll all do it in our different ways. But we basically have a lot of the military that are completely hell-bent in hunting these guys down and making sure not a single one of them is left. That's just their MO. Okay? We have our own MO. Peace, love, happiness, joy, fellowship, community, and unity. Okay? So it all just depends on perspective. All right? Thank you for your question. Let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay. So we're probably going to take one or two more questions, guys. So I'm just going to go closer down to the bottom of the list now. So Grove asked the question, have all king families been moving out from the castles? No. Okay. Like I said, a lot of the royals have either done one of two things. Number one, they have turned sides. They have changed sides. And they're working together with the counter forces. Number two, if they refuse to change sides, they're being taken out. And they're having doppelgangers in their place in the meantime. So that new transitional government will come together to replace them. Okay, but they have to play out a narrative right now. It's a narrative play out. So those are the only two possibilities. Now, number one, they're on the side of the counter forces. Number two, if they're not on the sides, they get taken out, they get replaced by doppelgangers, and they play out the narrative until that narrative comes to a conclusion, and then some form of transitional government will take their place. That's it. I've talked about that to death, guys. Stop worrying about royals. Okay? When you look at the royal family altogether, they're on the side of the counter forces completely. Okay, the United Kingdom royal family is on the side of the counter forces, right? That's basically what they've been saying. So your game is up. You need to work with us. Otherwise, we find a way to replace you guys, doppelgangers, and we will just play out the narrative until you're not needed anymore, and transitional government will take you over. So, okay, we'll play ball. Okay. And that goes with many other royal families. Royal families are just, they don't have any royalty to them at all. They're just plants, okay? None of them really even have any particular type of authority. They're nothing but figureheads. That's why it's not worth your time to even look at that stuff, okay? It's all just make-believe. It's all just soap opera. It's all just official narrative. It's nothing but gunk and pretend, right? Actors on a stage. So So that's what I can share about that. Okay. So we're going to take one more question, guys. We're going to wrap up. Okay, here's another one from Buibs. Question: How do the yugas of the time coincide right now? Well, we're in Dwapara Yuga right now. I think I talked about this last week or the week before that, where I talked about the yugas. Okay, so in yoga, there is the talk of what is known as yugas. That's Y-U-G-A-S. Okay, go back to last week's video or the one from 2 weeks ago. It's one of those two where I was talking about the yugas. But in a nutshell, the yugas are a cycle of progression. Okay, they all represent a certain amount of time that represent a progression in cycles pertaining to our evolution. Now, there's a lot of distortion on the internet about a great incorrectness about how long the yugas are, because they're not that long. Some people are saying they're hundreds of thousands of years long. That is completely incorrect. Okay, so they basically go through approximate 26,000-year cycle. Okay, right now we are currently in the upper portion of the Dwapara Yuga. We're not going down with Dwapara. Okay, we're going up with Dwapara. Okay, so with Dwapara Yuga, this is where we are. Approximately around 2082 and 2083, we will be in Treta Yuga. Okay, Treta Yuga is a very powerful time. That's where people are really starting to empower themselves. So we're really seeing humanity coming together, just like we're starting to see that benchmark taking place right now. Of course, that is about 6 decades away. But nonetheless, that is where we're moving. We're moving into a Treta Yuga. And when you get more closer to the 50-year span, before Treta Yuga, this is kind of the grace period in between Dwapara and Treta. There's a 50-year gap. So what would be coming around 50-year gap? 2032, 2033. Okay, that would be the time to what we would commonly refer to as the Age of Aquarius. Okay, that's the 50-year gap in the middle between Dwapara and between Treta. Right, so Dwapara is kind of like we're getting out of the slime, we're getting out of the gunk. We're seeing the light ahead of the tunnel, and we're starting to move towards that light of the tunnel. And we're starting to see a lot more people moving up from about 1/3 to about close to half, or somewhat close to half, of the population of the planet moving much more into a higher state of evolution. They're moving into much more of a recognition that things are not right, and they're starting to see more of the bigger picture within themselves. Awakenings, we can say, right? It's a time of awakening for humanity. So that about 1/3 to close to 1/2 of the population by the end of Dwapara Yuga is established. So again, by the time of 2082. Okay, but when we get into 2032, that would represent the beginning span of the grace period between those two yugas. Okay, so you always look at the last 50 and the first 50. So again, the last 50 represents the end transition through Dwapara into Treta, and the first 50 representing Treta, from Treta now taking the lead from Dwapara. Okay, and so that is moving into a very powerful expansion taking place, 2032, 2033. Okay, that's just the beginning of the grace period. That's the beginning of what we would commonly refer to as the Age of Aquarius. Okay, that's where there's powerful, and the 2030s will be very, very different from this decade. Okay, that's a renewal decade. That decade is all about renewal, replenishment, rejuvenation, new systems coming together. We're seeing the ties of a brand new Earth coming together in the 2030s. 2020s is the mop-up decade. It's the cleanup decade. We're just clearing away a lot of the filth. We're getting all this crap out of the way, and we're just moving forward. Like I said, guys, look what happened in early 2020. Right at the start of this new decade, we had COVID, right? So that's just the sign that everything here in this decade is getting cleaned up thoroughly, okay? It's a thorough cleaning up. We're basically being the cleaners here. That's what's taking place. Now, again, when we look at the procession of these yugas, they revolve around a larger star, okay? That star is Sirius A, okay? Sirius A, our star that you can refer to as Sol, S-O-L, okay? And then our companion star, the third star, a brown dwarf, Nibiru, okay? We are part of a trinary star system, okay? Please pay attention to this, guys. This is important, okay? So Sirius is like our big brother, okay? Here we are here as Sol, S-O-L, and here's Nibiru, like the little brother, okay? So Nibiru has certain passages, but we don't know how long that procession is. But its own yugas revolve around our star. Okay, so it has yugas as well too. So that's why, again, at certain particular point, Nibiru has come closer to our star system. I can't say it's smashed into anything or anything of that nature. To me, I'm not really too keen on that idea. But it certainly has come into closer phases with us over the many thousands of years past. And then again, we revolve around Sirius A, okay, Adronos's home star. And as we get closer and closer to that star, because it may just be a little bit brighter as we get close to it, maybe a little bit, not much, but it gets a little bit brighter into our star, we move into a higher state of evolution, because Sirius's light is so incredibly powerful. Its frequency, its vibration is so incredibly powerful that it really makes a strong transformation. It's exactly why someone like Adronos is in Sirius A, right? His intelligence was phenomenal, right? We couldn't even calculate it. So that's the idea. The whole procession of the yugas is us doing a gigantic, it's not symmetrical, right? It's more asymmetrical orbit around Sirius A, where Nibiru is doing its own asymmetrical orbit around the Sol star, SOL, okay? That's what I can sum up in regards to the yugas in a nutshell, okay? But look back into last week's or the one before. It was either last week or 2 weeks before where I was talking about the yugas, okay? Thank you for your question. Okay, guys, we are out of time for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of New Earth TV Live. Again, I might be doing an episode next week while I'm in Mexico. I will let you guys know about a day or two beforehand. And I appreciate all of your comments, your questions, your requests. Mass meditation with you guys today. Had a great time. Thank you so much. And I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar. And may it be well with you. Goodbye. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.